is somebody who I've watched for years. And I got to tell you, my immediate question when I watched him was why? Initially was why. So let's find out. Tremendously successful comedian, touring, has several shows, influencer, best-selling author. Steve O joins us. How are you, sir?
I'm great, man, and thank you for that. Those kind words. I enjoyed that.
We kind of grew up watching the stuff together, so I imagine we're similar ages, and kind of watching the things that you were doing. Right. That was the initial question. Was like, oh, okay. So take us back. How do you even get into something like that?
I mean, it's very simple. I can answer your question. Why? At every stage of the process, it's very simple. I'm an attention whore.
Okay.
All right. And that's really what it boils down to. I always had this strong urge to be remembered. When I was a kid, and I got a hold of a video camera, and I was struggling in school. I was dropping out of college. I really thought that I was going to fail at life and die just tragically young. And I believed strongly that the video footage I was filming of the ridiculous, crazy stunts and antics, that it would outlive me. I took this very religious approach to the video camera. I was stuffing my message in the bottle, and I was gonna I was gonna be known for the things that I was doing beyond my years. I think that's where it started. That me caring about that so much is how and why I got discovered without having to die.
Is it a true story that even before all this, you kind of were interested in being a stuntman? I read that somewhere.
Sure.
So you were kind of training to do that. So all of this craziness was not completely new to you.
I wanted to be a creative advertising executive and make TV commercials. So I went to college at the University of Miami for that. And I just couldn't bring myself to make it to class. That was the real hang up there. And I got kicked out of the dorms. I was failing my class. I upped and dropped out. And as I was on the way out of the University of Miami, my story was that I was going to use a home video camera to become a crazy, famous stuntman. And everybody I told that to felt legitimately sorry for me. The year was 1993. And I just kind of stuck with it. That was the whole, like I'm going to be remembered forever. That's what I wanted, And I was homeless for 3 years after leaving the University of Miami. I was couch surfing until 1996. And then I moved in with my sister, who is a journalist at the Albuquerque Journal in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And one day she was at work on the John reading a book of trivia, and she found a question that read, "What is the only college that has no tuition?" And the answer was Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College.
Stop it.
And she thought that might be good for me. It might get me out of her house. And I applied to Clown College thinking that it would further my goal of becoming a crazy, famous stuntman. If I was a trained circus professional, people would take me more seriously.
Yeah, of course.
And yes, I went off to Clown College and had a career as a circus clown right up until the day that I filmed my first scene for the Jackass series.
We were talking before we got started that your public life, at least, like the things that we've seen on Jackass and the several different shows or the offshoots, was almost like the real life game of would you, like that all of us have played. Like, would you take a Tyson body shot for $1 million? Like, would you let somebody staple your arm for significant amounts of money? And you answered yes a lot.
Yeah, I suppose. I broke my nose on Mike Tyson's fist one time. I talked him into holding his fist out. I said, Mike, it's great. It's called the black eye game. And you just hold your fist still with your elbow locked, and I run into it with my face and try to get a black eye. And I ended up with 2 black eyes and a broken nose.
So in the game, would you come up with all of those things, and it leads to you do it, and there's fame and fortune, and you're remembered
Yeah.
and all of those things. So how successful really was Jackass and the offshoots, and how quickly did this kind of, we're just going to recreate what entertainment looks like, how quickly did that translate to actual success? How many broken noses did you have to take before it was worth it?
I was 15 years old when I made my first video. I was 19 years old when I dropped out of college. And I was 26 years old when Jackass first appeared on MTV. And it was really pretty overnight. Once Jackass appeared on MTV, I had a legitimate profile. I was recognized everywhere I went. However, when Jackass appeared on MTV, I was dead broke. I was again homeless, and I was totally unemployed. There was really not a lot of money in the TV show, but I figured it out as I went, and once we started making the movies, there was more substantial money involved in it, but the movies were few and far between. The first movie came out in 2002, and then there was no Jackass for 4 years until the second movie came out in 2006. And then there was no Jackass for another 4 years when the third movie came out in 2010. And then there was no Jackass for 10 years when the fourth movie came out in 2022, 12 years.
So what I just took from that was you took a lot of black eyes and porta potties turned over on you and staples and all that kind of stuff, and didn't get the immediate huge paycheck. You had to persevere and keep going. You had to believe that this was going to lead to your goals, because you took a lot of pain without the immediate big check.
I'll tell you straight up that my career in stand-up comedy has been way more lucrative for me than my career with Jackass.